Okay, okay. Hi, Rajshekar. Good morning.
Morning, bro.
Okay, let's start this session. On the day one, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Hope you're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, bro.
Okay. So as per the schedule which I have posted you, so I just designed a PPTs with respect to that, like day one, day two, day three, day four, blah, 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 and etc. Okay. As per
Okay.
as today's schedule, will be starting with the day one of the Terraform. Okay. So quickly jumping, I mean to say that so what I feel is like every engineer has to know uh, a little bit background of any tool. If you're starting a learning a cloud or maybe any tool which you're personally or maybe anything else, but we have to know the background of any tool. That is for sure must, because I feel like to know what was the roots, the main intention of created that tool, and what was the main reason the tool became popular, and what was the drawbacks that it was having into the existing tool, whether this tool did not came into the market. So these are things that as just a brief, I feel like every engineer has to know. So
Okay.
so what exactly this is like, the background of Terraform is like, as you are already aware, I feel the Terraform has been started by the Mitchell Hashimoto. Okay, I'm repeating the name again. His name is Mitchell Hashimoto and Armon. Okay, and these two folks are friends actually. Okay,
Okay.
so what happened is like, in the year when they completed their graduation and everything, they've started the first project in Seattle actually. So in the Seattle, and their project name is also in Seattle actually. So what happened is like, at the time, I hope you're aware that we got an AWS cloud in the year of 2008. So it was just a beginning of the time, and 2008 we got a very few services came into the market. So with respect to that, like they got an assignment from the organizations stating that they have to do some tasks or something. Okay, so what happened is like, they have just gone through each and everything, but still they did not understand actually, because those were the days that was started into the cloud at that moment actually. So they got a task, and Arman and Hashimoto, they were discussing whole the nights, and still they're unable to crack their assignment. And at that point of time, they got an idea stating that all this become a mess, and these people have started just now in the cloud story and everything. I mean to say that and they have a thought like this is like I mean to say that the cloud came into the picture this year, and we could see a lot of services, but still we are unable to do it. Why don't we start something like that? They have a rough idea actually. And down the line, what happened is like in the year 2011, AWS started a service called Cloud Formation. Okay, I repeat, in the year 2011, AWS started a service called Cloud Formation. So what happened is like, so they have launched with a very granular way, like, what the Cloud Formation does in terms of the infrastructure level, according to the AWS and everything. So that was a great at the time. But what happened is like, what happened is like in the year 2011, Hashimoto and his friend Arman. So what happened is like, they have posted an article to the AWS folks stating that we have like a lot. Like they have said in the article in such a way that the AWS cloud formation is really awesome, but still like if we have a way to make it a cloud agnostic, the terminology called cloud agnostic in the sense is it should be a capable of picking up every cloud provider. That is the meaning of cloud agnostic actually. So in 2011, when AWS started cloud formation actually, at the time Google Azure came into the pictures actually. Okay, so at the time it was very newly started from the Azure point of view, Azure cloud, and even the Google cloud as well. So and what happened is like he posted an article, or maybe the reply to the AWS folks stating that why don't we why don't you guys start making a friendly infrastructure, that the tool which you guys have started, like it should be compatible with any cloud provider or like that. He just started it. But what happened is like, no one cared about his idea. And like, no one replied to his article or even reply from anyone actually. From the AWS point of view, no one has replied. So this was story happened in 2011. And then down the line, what happened is like, in 2014, the idea which Hashimoto and Arimon, they have like, they have implemented in 2014, and they named it, they've implemented all the strategies. I mean, whatever he wants a main in terms of an infrastructure, he just started putting in the year 2014, and they have released a first Terraform into the market. That is, they named it as 0.1. The version of Terraform is 0.1. Okay. So this was like a little background. What are the things that like they have faced when they're using an when they have started writing an assignment, and what are the problems they have faced it, and like, and what was their motto. I mean to say that like, and what was a drawback they found it in the AWS cloud formation, and when they posted the articles, and they did not get a reply. And of course, like if we post any, if we, let's say example, like, if AWS has started a new service, and if you reply to the new service, AWS, of course, they'll never care any engineer, right? They'll be getting hundreds of tweets or hundreds of articles similar to our article, right? It's not a compulsory they have to respond to it. But what happened is like, at the time when Hashimoto has replied to that article, it became famous, but no one cared actually. No one cared. The same concept, like, in the 2014, his team, initially they have started with, they have only 3 engineers, they have started and they have developed and they have released 0.1 of what do you call this, a Terraform. I know I want to show you something like, so what are the main intention that, I mean to say like, whenever, if let's say example, like if every engineer wants to start a new thing, anything, even with respect to a tool or anything, we'll be putting some rules and regulations, right? So yes, we'll be putting some rules and regulations, like how the tool should be and how it should not be, and what are the measures that we have to take in care. So with respect to that, like what happened is like, if you see on my screen, so what happened is like, HashiCorp, like, that Mitchell, his name is Mitchell Hashimoto and Armand, they have set their strategies actually. Like, if you see on my screen, actually, they have set their 8 types of rules actually. Okay, I'm not going each and every line in that 8 rules actually. I'm sharing this URL to you whenever, once the session is completed enough, you should have a look on this URL actually. But in this 8, I'll be saying the 3, what are the most important things. So first of all, what is this 8 are? What is this 8? The meaning of this 8 rules, they have put it in their bucket. I mean to say that they followed is like, they have put their own rules, like what are the things that they're about to, I mean, the Terraform they have started, what are the things that their aims, what are things that they should not be doing it, and all those details, like in a crisp way, they are maintained in this 8 rules. Okay, that they named it as the tie of HashiCorp. Okay, you can put it this full form as like, what do you call this, test acceleration optimization. Okay, you can name this like test acceleration optimization of HashiCorp. So in this, like, as I say, like there are workflows, not technologies, simple modular, communicating sequential, immutability, versioning, codification, automation, and resilient, and pragmatism. So in this, like, as I say, like, I'm not going deep into that, but I'll be covering I'll be showcasing the 3 main major things. In this, the 3 major things is like workflow, not technologies, and versioning through codification, and pragmatism. Okay, I'm not reading each and every line over there. I'm just explaining the intention of this one. So coming to the workflows, not technology. What do you mean by these workflows? As per the view of HashiCorp, what he thought is like, we are getting many technologies day by day, but the workflows, what we are about to maintain is not decreasing it. So that's his main idea of creating this one of the rule. I mean to say that, like, we are getting many new tools in the market. There are more technologies coming into the market, but even though if they are coming a new technologies, but the work done or maybe the flow that we are about to maintain, that is not decreasing actually. If what his motto is like, if any new technology comes into the market, the workflow should also decrease. In that way, the tool that needs to be designed, that is the main motto of the HashiCorp and Harmon actually. So with respect to this is one of the thing that you have written. And second one of the important part is like versioning through codification. What do you mean by this one? As per their HashiCorp motto and Arman, what's his intention of this versioning through codification is like, the code should be in some text format, okay? That should be easily savable, okay? Easily that needs to save, and later on that we have to protect it. That's the main heart of this versioning through codification actually. Okay, I repeat, whatever the code we write in a file or maybe anywhere, that needs to be saved in a simple text file. That's it. That's the main. So we have to design a tool, or maybe the code we have to write, it should be saved in a simple text file. That's his main theme actually.
Yeah, one thing.
Yeah.
Both this text format and .pf format are same?
Yes, see. Yes, of course. What his main intention is like, the code what we are about to write, or if anyone want to start a new tool into the market, the code they have to save it in a simple format. That's what their main intention is. Either it might be .text or .tf, .png or anything, but that should be a very simple. That's what his main intention is. Okay. And one more most important in all these 8 rules is pragmatism. Whatever we saved it here, that needs to be secured. Okay, that needs to be secured. Let's say an example. A code has been written. Okay. There should be some output of that code, and if you are not maintaining that one, then it's waste of use. And a part of that, let's say an example, in this pragmatism, what they have mentioned is like, let's say like they want to store a particular thing in a security perspective. Let's an example. So what they will do is like, rather than completing the requirement as soon as possible, they'll be having a more thoughts or insights, like stating that in what are the ways that we can store this a particular thing actually. That's their motto actually. What are the ways that we can make this storing properly? Is it a way that we can put it in some place that no one will be having an access? Or else, like, do we need to create any new tool storing this output of that, putting in their other tool? Or else like something else? Like, you got my point, right? You got my intention. What am I about to say, Shrika?
Oh yeah, and I mean like, so whatever the code we're executing, it has to get stored in the same directory.
Someplace.
Okay.
Someplace. For storing that someplace, what are the mechanisms? What are the process? What are the ways that we are doing it, want to do, or doing it is what about a pragmatism means.
Okay. We want to store in Terraform itself.
It's not like storing, Shaker. It's like, let's say example. Let's take a real-time example so that it will be easy for you. Let's say like after executing it, we'll be getting a TF state file, right? So now let's say now HashiCorp people have TF state file. Now they don't know where they have to store it, the TF state file. Okay. Now what happened is like their team has to concentrate on how to secure this TF state file. Whether what are the ways that we can secure this TF state file? What are the if we store it in the S3 bucket, and how the connection that needs to be established? Or else like if we store this TF state in the Artifactory tool, how the connection that needs to be established? Or else like if we store the TF state in some other tool or some other place, how the connection needs to be established? And if we store it, and if is it compulsory the connection will be established for every time? So those are the requirements basically, how we have to deal and what are the ways that we have to deal it. Those concepts in a high level is nothing but a pragmatism.
Okay, okay. I know this. 1 second. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
That's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
you got the point, right?
Yes, yes. I understand. It's like now in Terraform state file, we generally use a S3 bucket for backup. For that, we need to write Terraform script. So you
It's not
mean to
actually backup. Okay, when down the line you'll get to know why we are putting in the S3. Okay.
Okay. So you mean to say that kind of mechanism establishing connection will comes under this pragmatism, right?
Correct. How?
Okay.
What are the ways that we have to store it in? And I mean to say that like HashiCorp team has to decide. We have a now state file where we have to store it.
Okay.
What are the ways that we can store it? If we store it, how the security will be?
Okay. Okay.
So in those kinds of a requirement, that is nothing but a pragmatism according to them.
Okay.
So far, any doubts, Shekhar? So far.
And that first one, workflows, new technologies.
Yeah.
So this is all about reducing the workflow. Even the new technology or new tool comes and collaborate with Terraform.
It's not like see, his intention is not only on the Terraform. His intention is like if any tool comes into the market, even if any tool in the world coming to the market, the workflow with respect to that particular tool that needs to decrease. That's his main intention actually. But what happens is technologies are increasing it. The tools are more in the market, but the workflow is not decreasing it.
Okay.
So I can take an example of that. Like if you are aware, like I can give an example. Let's say, are you aware about the monitoring tool called as a Datadog and a Dynatrace?
No, not it. Okay. Anyhow, it's a monitoring tool. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is like, see, we have n number of monitoring tools in the market. Like, we have the top 1 and 2 is like top 1 is Dynatrace and top 2 is Datadog. So see, both does the same job. From our point of view. Like what our main intention of a monitoring tool is like capture all the logs with respect to the application or the infrastructure or what it may be that needs to be captured in the dashboard.
Yes.
But see here, this workflows, not technologies, comes into the picture. See, let's say in the Datadog, let's say like you have a Kubernetes cluster. Let's say an example. You have a Kubernetes cluster. In that Kubernetes cluster, there are different pods. In the different pods, like, each pod has having a different language. I mean to say that one pod is deployed with a Go language. One pod is deployed with a Java language. One pod is deployed with some other language. You got the point?
Yes.
So what happens is like, so let's say like if you want to reflect all the logs inside the Kubernetes on the Datadog dashboard, now we have a different languages inside the Kubernetes. So from our point of view, we have to in terms of a configuration, there are lots needs to be done from the Datadog. There is an agent called Datadog agent that needs to be installed in the Kubernetes cluster. But after installing the agent in Kubernetes cluster also, in terms of a configuration, we have to do a lot actually for taking all the languages logs and putting in the dashboard.
Yes.
But where comes into the Dynatrace, irrespective of the languages, whether you put all the languages which is available in the world, okay, it catches all the languages logs and put it in the dashboard. See, here you understand the main intention of workflows, not technologies.
Okay.
You got the point, right? In the Datadog, for reflecting logs in the monitoring tool, in terms of a configuration part, you have to do a lot, right? We have to do a lot of configuration in terms of a Datadog. But coming to the Dynatrace, it doesn't require any configuration. It just only install one agent, done. That's it. Inside, what happens is like in the one agent will automatically communicate with the help of an AI, and it picks the languages of each and every pod and it will send into the Dynatrace dashboard. It does automatically. From a user point of view, nothing we have to do it. See, that's the main difference. Like that's the main intention of HashiCorp, stating that like the day by day, the technologies are increasing, the tools are increasing, but the workflows are not decreasing. That's his main point actually, for with respect to workflows and not technologies.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
got the point?
Yeah, I understand. One more doubt is while writing Terraform script, we need to keep in mind all these rules, or else this is just for knowing purpose.
Just for knowing purpose.
Okay.
I feel like everyone has to know if anyone wants to start a tool. Okay, this is like a background. If everyone has to know it, right?
Yes, got it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, you're until now any doubts?
No, fine, it's fine.
So as I said, like this so far, whatever I've discussed is like a background of Terraform. Like every engineer has to know it. And the next one is, as I said, like they have started with an open source, as I said, in the 2014 with a version of 0.1 initially. And a part of that, they have designed in such a way that, and this is also one of the points to be noted, Shekhar, what's the main intention of Terraform is like, see, there are 3 layers. Okay, remember that. If we have to design a total project, okay, 3 things that needs to be must. Do remember, okay? The down layer is core infrastructure. The second layer should be an application, and the third layer should be a security. If we follow these 3 types of layers, then your project is, or the application, what are you considered as, it's a secure and a good way of doing it. It's a standardized way actually.
Can you repeat them once again?
Yes. For any project, if you want to maintain a standard point of view, is the down layer should be a core infrastructure. Upon the infrastructure, we have to maintain an application. On top of the application, we have to maintain a security.
Okay.
In these 3 layers, if there is any lagging, we will be losing everything. Let's say like you lost security, hackers will enter into the application, they can disturb whatever they want.
Yes.
You have an infrastructure and application is not up to the mark, then it's a waste of using it. You have an application, you have a security, if you do not have an infrastructure, gone.
Yes.
So it's like correlated actually, like it's like a correlated of each and all these 3 layers. So these 3 layers are most important for every project that needs to be maintained. Okay, so without infrastructure, no application. Without application, no security. Without security, no application, no infrastructure. Got the point?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So coming to the next slide. So what are the challenges basically we'll be facing in the current world before Terraform came into the picture actually? What happened is like, see, let's say my project is using AWS Cloud. So that's the reason, like, of course, that I'll be using the AWS Cloud Formation. This is the story before Terraform comes into the market. Okay. So like, I have a project called AWS, they have a project in AWS. So I'm using a cloud formation service to set up the infrastructures. And this cloud formation scripting can be written in YAML and JSON, and it's somewhat difficult. It's not like a human readable language. Okay. So what happens is like, let's say like you got a project in Azure Cloud, and like, the cloud formation scripts are not supported in the Azure. So that what happened is like, you'll be writing Amazon Resource Manager templates. It's almost all similar to the cloud formation. Let's say like, some other engineer got a project in the Google Cloud. Okay. And he has to write a DM that we are calling as a deployment manager. It is equivalent to ARM and cloud formation. So what happens is, this is a main important, we can consider now this is a drawback in after 2014. Okay. The reason, as I said, like, if everyone, what's its main intention, as I said, this is a point number 1, as per the HashiCorp motto, is like workflow, not technology. You got the point? This is the most important aspect. Shekhar. Hello?
Yeah, bro. I'm listening.
See, that's the main, that's the main intention of this. This is the first point. You'll be getting an understanding now. See why he said workflow, not technology. See, now in this situation, like, let's say like if you want to design infrastructure, If there is no Terraform into the market, like, we have to learn a CloudFormation scripting and ARM scripting and deployment manager scripting. And if any new cloud comes into the market, that scripting also we have to learn. Okay. So rather than learning each and everything, like, we have to decrease the workflow, not the technologies. That's the main motto of the point number one. So similarly, this is one of the biggest challenge. And as I said, like, the CloudFormation or ARM or DM, they are maintaining a JSON format and along with an YAML. As you know, in JSON, like how much complexity the code will be actually in terms of a syntax or in terms of a reading format or whatever, maybe, like, how much complexity you'll get to know. And one more important point is, like, let's say you have written a simple code in CloudFormation. Let's say I have written a simple code in Terraform. We will execute both at a time. Terraform, if there are, let's say we have only 2 services. For deploying 2 services, Terraform will take less than 40 seconds. Only for 2 services. If you take same consideration of 2 services in CloudFormation, it will take more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
So you can see the, like, if I say only 2 services, it is taking 2 or 3 minutes. If I put some 10 to 14 services in the real world, if you use in a project, then how much time it's gonna take? If I integrate even the EKS also in that script, how much time it's gonna take? It will take more than an hour in CloudFormation.
Yes.
If I say CloudFormation, that applicable for ARM and DM also. Okay.
ARM refers to Azure Resource Manager.
Correct.
Oh.
And DM refers to Google Cloud. Deployment manager. Okay. So JSON is complex, and, like, and this CloudFormation, all these are very slow comparing to that. Okay. And let's say, like, one more important point is, like, let's say, like, there will be in some point of view, like, we will be implementing the functions in the CloudFormation or Azure or DM. So what happens over there is, like, we have to write some if loops, nested ifs, and everything in terms of CloudFormations in JSON format. It will be, trust me, guys, it was damn tricky in JSON actually for understanding and to making and maintenance of all those things. That is also one of the biggest drawback I would like to say. And one more thing is, like, if you have an existing services in the real world, like, for importing that also, it will take a lot of time for importing, and there are more and more rules and regulations that needs to be followed if you're using CloudFormation or Azure or the DM. Okay. And one more, the most biggest drawback according to me, or if you ask anyone, is, like, in CloudFormation or Azure ARM or deployment manager Google Cloud, you cannot break the mod. You cannot break the services pieces. You cannot break the services and you cannot store it in some place. Let's say, like, if you want to deploy an infrastructure that has more than 10 services, that you have to write it in one file. That's it, in the CloudFormation or ARM or DM. But so that was the biggest drawback actually. If you maintain in such a way that, like, it will be so much tricky, for maintain if you spin up the same same set of code in the multiple environments. So that is also the biggest drawback from the CloudFormation or ARM or DM. So to avoid all these things, like, the Terraform comes into the picture. So any doubts so far, Shekhar?
Yeah, that last point, bro. You said, like, in Terraform, we can divide the code into multiple lines, and then we can go for deployment, and it will execute as a single deployment.
Correct. In Terraform, like, what happens is, like, let's say, like, you have an EC2 service, you have an S3 service, and you have an EBS volume. Let's say an example. Okay. So what happens is, like, you can write each and every code in separate files. Okay, and later you can tie all the 3 files in one place. That concept in Terraform called as modules. You'll get to know down the line what do you mean by that.
Okay.
But in CloudFormation or ARM or DM, you'll not be having that kind of a facility. Like, whatever you have to write, we have to write, like, we have to write it in one file. That's it. You cannot break anything over there. That is also another drawback.
Okay.
You'll get to know the importance of this modular concept once you get that session. Like, you'll be saying wow, for sure.
Okay.
So now coming to the picture, like, what is Terraform as discussed so far, like, it's an infrastructure code created by the HashiCorp. So as you see on my screen, like, it creates the main, it avoids all the drawbacks which we discussed so far in terms of the performance, in terms of maintaining the code, in terms of security wise, and everything like that will be avoided in the other one, in the Terraform NTC. And like, and one more point to be noted, just for your understanding, Shekhar, is that, so when Terraform started, like, before 0.1 version, they have written the code in Bash script, actually, you know that?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay. What happens is, like, when they have tested, when they are doing the testing, actually, so they have started writing in the Bash script, actually.
Okay.
So I'm just updating you, like, just to know it, Aqua.
Yeah.
1 second. Okay, so they have written initially in that Bash script, actually, in before 0.1. Okay, and down the line, like, from our point of view, we have to write a Terraform code in YAML language. In the background, what happens is YAML will be automatically converting into a Go language, and it will understandable by them, and then it will execute. From our point of view, we need not to be cared about how the Go language is and how that communication happens. We no need to care. Okay, it's not even our cup of tea to be taken care. But only one point that we have to know is, like, we will be writing a code in YAML language. At the background, YAML will be converting to the Go and it will execute.
Okay.
And the output that you'll be getting in the JSON format.
Okay.
I repeat again that we'll be writing the code in YAML. YAML will be converting back to the Go language, and it will execute, and output will getting in a JSON format. Okay. And similarly, like, Terraform can create an infrastructure across all the major infrastructures. I mean to say, like, AWS, GCP, Azure, OpenStack, whatever. Like, Terraform is compatible of creating the scripts for every cloud provider with a minimal changes, guys. Okay, with minimal changes, you can deploy everything, actually. Okay, and next, coming to the next one, as I said, like, advantages is, like, it is a vendor independent application tool. Code, guys, like, comparing to the other tools in the market, like, if you have gone through the CloudFormation or maybe other tool which is there similar to the CloudFormation, those type of a code is very tricky, guys. Trust me, like, Terraform is, like, it's easy, understandable. It's a human readable. I must say that it's a human readable code, guys. Like, let's say, like, some engineer has written a code. If you're reading that, you'll be understandable for sure.
Okay.
So that's that comfort we have in that, like, and in terms of performance, as I said, in terms of execution as well, in AWS or maybe other one, it's very fast. Okay, and deploying the code, we having in multiple ways, guys, multiple ways. Okay, you'll be getting to know what are those things and etc. Okay, and if you have anything existing service, let's say I created a service manually in AWS. I want to import that also. Yes, it is possible. But where that is not possible, in CloudFormation or there's those things. In the CloudFormation, I should not say a word called as not possible, but it is very hard to get, very hard to get the existing services to the script in CloudFormation. Okay. So as I said, like, we can divide the code into multiple files and execute that concept. We are calling it as a modular, and down the line you'll get to know what is that and etc. Okay, and coming to the configurations. Okay, now coming to the configurations in the Terraform. Whatever we write in the Terraform, if Terraform wants to understand, the only thing is, like, you have to put it.
One second, Srikanth bro. Sorry for interruption. We have discussed about the advantage, no? And there will be few disadvantages as well. If you can brief me any few in real time.
If there is one disadvantage, actually, that's the reason I've not put it in the slide, because if I say that, I'm not sure whether you'll be understanding or not. But if you ask me, that's the reason I'm saying to you.
Okay.
Okay. One biggest disadvantage is, like, let's say there is a service in AWS. Let's say there is already a EC2 service in AWS that has been created from the GUI, AWS console. Okay. If I want to import that AWS to my local, we have to write a script.
Local means into Terraform.
Local means, yeah, into Terraform. We have to write the same. We have to write a script which should match the AWS console, EC2 instance.
Okay.
For
So
importing,
to import that service setup.
Exactly. Let's say like now I have one service. That's okay, fine. Let's say if I have 10 services, I want to replicate those 10 services into my import functionality. It's very, very hard actually. So Terraform is working on that particular feature. They want to make that like, you know, his main HashiCorp team main intention is like, if they want, like if you hit one command, it should automatically import all the existing services to the local. Actually, its main intention is that. But as of now, the import functionality is not that great in Terraform. They are still working on it actually. And that is the disadvantage as of now we have, but that will be overcome in the coming versions actually.
And same thing with CloudFormation and other infrastructure provisioning tools like ARM, DM.
Exactly. Yeah. See, in Terraform, I found only one disadvantage, but in CloudFormation, DM or ARM, there are many disadvantages. As I said.
Yes. What I'm telling is the same disadvantage is common for all of the other tools as well.
Correct. Yes.
Correct. Okay. That's it.
Yeah. So, and coming to the configuration, as I said, like we have to we have anything. If Terraform wants to understand whatever you have written, a piece of file, you have to put it in .tf.
Not .txt.
Not txt, only .tf. If you are putting in .tf only, then the Terraform will understand that particular file belongs to Terraform. Okay. And one more important is like only one file you'll be seeing, guys. That's it, .tf. Nothing else you'll be seeing it. And a part of that, you'll be seeing another file that is just like after executing, we will be getting a TF state file. I'll be explaining you what is that in the coming days. Why I bought that TF state now is like inside the TF state, we'll be seeing the JSON format. I'll be saying you what is that JSON, why it came, and blah blah blah. Okay. As of now, you remember as of now in the configuration file, it's like if you have written any file with .tf, that will be understandable by Terraform. That's it.
Now .tf is for configuration. .tf state is after executing, so whatever Correct. It may be, right?
Yes.
And what is this .tf.json?
Actually, if I go into the deep, like it will be confusion. I feel like what happens is when you execute any script, there will be two files that will be generating it. One is tf state, another one is tf state.backup.json. Coming down the line, you'll get to know actually what is that actually.
And one more. Sorry. And one more is .tf vars is their own extension I have seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not .tf. It's not .tf vars actually. It is vars.tf.
Okay, vars.tf.
Yeah.
No, .tf vars also one extension I have gone
I'll say you'll get to know what is that in the coming sessions. Okay. I understand your curiosity, but still if I start saying that one, like you'll be missing many other things.
Okay.
Until now, like any doubts so far, because we are just going into the installation part now.
Okay. No, as of now, I'm clear. Yes.
Okay. See guys, now we are going the installation, and trust me, Shekhar, when I started the Terraform installation, it took for me 1 minute for installing actually. When I started learning Terraform, now it will not even take 20 seconds.
Okay.
It's that damn. I'll say you. See, I copied this URL. Okay. You can see on my screen. Okay. I'm putting over here. See, there are many things over here, guys. Like, if you are installing in the OS, Windows or Linux, okay, in Linux, which flavor that you are installing it, it's all documented over here. Nothing that needs to be worried from our end. Previously, this was not there, Shaker,
Okay.
Previously, this was not there. Now it made it so flexible, actually. Okay, what I'm doing is like, this is my personal account. I'm just going into the EC2. I'm creating a new instance. Okay.
Okay.
Launch instance. I'm selecting Amazon Linux. Teacher.micro. And hope you know all these things.
Yes.
Let's increase the size of this machine, 50 GB. Put it as 30. Let it be 50 GB because we'll be using the same instance for entire session.
Okay.
Tag.
If 50 GB also comes under free tier.
No, it's chargeable.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Name. Shaker. Or else I'll put it as. Okay. I already have a keeper called practice. Hope you're all aware.
Yes.
And one more thing, while creating this instance, there is a saying in Devops, Cloud, Terraform, anything is like, never ever touch a GUI for creating anything.
Okay.
I mean to say, like, see, now I created a EC2 instance from the GUI.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Once, like, you're done with the Terraform, don't touch GUI. Write scripting and install it.
Okay.
Got the point?
Yes.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, it's up. Oh, sorry. Copy. Okay, I'm going to the Git bash terminal.
Okay.
Hope you're able to see it, right?
Yes.
I already downloaded my key over there. Okay, I'm just simply kidding. Okay, fine. So what I'm doing is like, I'm just into the branded new machine, nothing it has. So what I'll be doing is like, I just opened the URL over there. So now I've installed Amazon Linux, right? Just select this one. Okay, just select this one. The first thing what we have to do is just follow the same commands. Only 3 commands, job done. That's it. Copy. See, previously it was not there. Previously, like, we have to add everything, the configurations and everything,
Okay.
It's already there. It's simply M utils.
M is the default packet manager available in Linux view.
Exactly. M utils. I was trying to install the utils actually. Utilities, I need to say. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, how much easy it came now.
Yes.
One click done. How much time it took for you? Hardly less than 10 seconds, I feel.
Yes.
See if I go and here. See, it's installed. Oh. See?
Okay. Now it's 1.0.11.
Yeah. So now the installation is done. It's very, very simple. It's just 3 steps. Whatever it's there, I just put it over here. That's it. See, now the present latest in the market is 1.0.11. Okay, and hope you're aware what is this format, a semantic formatting, guys. Hope you're aware, right? Are you aware?
No.
Semantic versioning. We are calling this as semantic versioning.
So what exactly mean by semantic versioning?
Okay, now I can make it as a chart. Semantic is like it divided with the three things. One is for the main what I say. Okay, let's come from the back.
Okay.
If you see three numbers, the last one refers to be a bugs. Okay, let's say now 1.0, 1.0.11, and later on you might be seeing 1.0.12. It means that the bugs which are there in the 11th version, that will be avoided in the 12th version.
Okay.
Okay, and now if we go into the second one, like this one 0 as of now. Let's say if they want to if they want to update the what do you call, some format, or maybe the functionality or something like that, actually. Okay.
Okay, addition of any features.
Yeah, okay, not the features. What happens is like then it will be like 1.2.0, sorry, 1.1.0.
Yes.
So in this 1.1.0, in the sense like this, if let's say you got 1.1.0, in this, if you don't want that feature, you can go back again to 1.0.12.
Okay.
That flexibility you have in this middle one.
Okay.
Let's say now coming into the market, there was a new came that it is like 2.0.0.
Okay.
In this way, if it comes like 2.0.0, you cannot go back to the older version.
Okay.
Think in WhatsApp, like you'll be getting many updates in the WhatsApp, right?
Yes.
So many updated versions and everything. You might be seeing these 3 digits. This in technical terminology, we are calling it as semantic versioning.
Okay. And so if it is a 4-digit version?
No, 4-digit, you can't say it. The only thing is like you can see hyphen some number, some name. Like let's say v 1.0.11 hyphen alpha, 1.0.11 hyphen beta, something like that. You'll be saying it.
Okay,
that's
can you
like
check this Linux OS version just for comparing? I'm asking.
Sorry, what I'm writing here. See.
Bro, we both are Linux, came from Linux.
Much better. What's the command that basically checking, man? Yeah. Man, I forgot.
You name hyphen I, hyphen A.
Okay. See, you want to see the version over here? What exactly you want to see over here?
That versioning syntax I want to see here.
There's nothing over here, man.
Okay.
Hello. Coming. Let's
Okay, done. Yeah.
So here the installation is done. The next part, it's most important, is the web content. Just going back to the Terraform.
Okay.
This is a website, guys. Okay, I'm just pinging you in WhatsApp. Why am I getting other guy?
Website for official Terraform, or how it will be? Official
Terraform, as I pinged you for your purpose. Okay.
Okay, so, this is the terraform.io. Okay.
Correct. So this is the official website, and like while every engineer, if they are writing or they are about to write a script in Terraform, to a side, this website should be open.
Okay.
The reason I'll say, okay, so directly and here, just go to the registry. Okay. And just first click the providers.
Okay.
See, as of now, you can see there are these many of providers that they are supporting now. When Terraform started in 2014 with 0.1 version, they have started giving support only to the AWS and DigitalOcean. That's it.
Okay.
And down the line now, see, AWS, Azure, Google, Kubernetes, Oracle also is supporting Alibaba, and some other third party as well. Like you can see many things, right? Like every company started their own cloud. From them also, like, all these things were also there. See, ACI, some company, Arian, ME, something, some company, they have started their own cloud. Aviatrix. So all those things are also there supporting. See, it has now 33 pages.
Okay, so this
All
many
these are like
providers.
yes, these many things that Terraform is supporting now. Okay, every time point to be noted, this needs to be important. If you want to take anything, that you have to take it from the verified providers only. Verified providers in the sense like Terraform has been verified officially.
Okay.
So these are the third-party companies that they have their own cloud, and the own cloud they have, Terraform has been developed everything. See, the pages are like up to 33 pages. 33, like every company have started their own cloud. See.
Okay. For example, if we want to go for Kubernetes Terraform script, here we need to select
I'll
and
say,
get inside.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll say. So this is like a provider. What do you
Okay.
mean by a provider in terms of a technology terminal? Sorry, in terminology is like it's a cloud. Okay, it's a provider is nothing but, as per the Terraform language, nothing but a cloud. See, when I say AWS provider, it means I'm talking to the AWS cloud. If I say cloud providers, if I say I use a terminology cloud providers, it means that I'm talking about AWS, Azure, GCP, blah blah blah, all the clouds. Okay. Coming back to here. Okay, coming back. I just gone through here, right? Just going to the here one. So now this is most important. Okay, 1 second. Just go back. Just click providers as of now. Okay. We are leading with AWS now. Click on AWS. Okay. And this is the first page, like you can see it. You can see all these modules. That will be later on. We'll be discussing later on what all these things. Just go here, the documentation. This is important, Shekhar. Okay. Click on this. See, all the services that we have presently in AWS are having here.
Okay.
So let's say now example. Now you logged into the AWS console today. You found there are 2,000 services, and after 1 week you logged into the AWS services and you found 2,005 services, and that rest of 5 services also Terraform will be updating over here.
Okay.
See, all the services they have already documented in terms of a script.
Okay. For this, we need to have any account, or else
Not
without
required.
logging in, also we can refer.
Source. Yes. Okay. The only thing you need to have is internet connection. That's it, and of course you'll be having it. Okay.
Yes.
See, let's say like if you click EC2, okay. See, in EC2, like what type of script do you want? You want to create a new instance in EC2? Let's go here. AWS instance. Done. See, this is a script. In the script, they'll be giving in very short. Actually, there are many things over here that needs to be added. All these things they have discussed over here. See, all these things that will be discussing more in the WS.
Okay, so in Terraform we won't get complete script.
Like I can say that, like it's not a complete script. See, let's an example. See, while I'm creating an AWS instance, EC2 instances, do I selected anything? Let's say example. I'll be showcasing you this one. 1 second. Yeah. See, after clicking, for creating an instances, there are 6 tabs actually.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
In this, randomly we have selected this one. Okay. So what we have selected in first one, we have selected OS. Second one is we have selected RAM. And after that, did we make any changes?
No.
We just gone through click next, next. That's it. Correct?
Yes.
It means that from the Terraform point of view, point to be noted, Shekhar. Here, for creating an EC2 instance, these 2 fields are mandatory fields. The rest of the fields are optional. If you want to change it, you can change it.
Okay.
Did we change anything after the second tab?
No.
Correct. Similarly, where it is? Similarly, see here,
Okay.
it created only two fields. One is AMI, one is instance underscore type. That is nothing but a RAM. And
Okay.
rest of the things he did not added.
Okay.
If we want to add, let's say I want to change a tag. Let's say I want to change my VPC name. I want this instance that needs to be in deployed in my own custom VPC. Let's say I want to attach an EBS volume to the present EPC tool. Yes, that is possible. That we can write a script that will be having all the information over here, argument reference, AMI. So you can see over here, if you do not know what is optional and what is mandatory, you can come here, you'll get to know this is optional, optional, optional. See, here we are not selecting any availability zone. It is
Yes.
automatically picking up, but that's an optional, right?
Yes.
If you
Yes.
want my instance to be only in US-East-2A or 2B or 2C, then put it over here. Okay, you can put this, mention this at resource, this one,
Okay.
and put it as equal to US-East-2A. But still, this is an optional for you. If in your project, you got a requirement stating that you want the particular instance that needs to be deployed in a particular this thing, then put this one. If not,
Okay.
it isn't required. Okay, I'll be saying you like in the down the line, you'll get to know that what are things are important. I mean to say, it's not like important. I'll be saying like what are things that we have to write a mandatory, what not. And if you written all what happens and all those things. See now,
Okay.
let's say like for creating an EC2 instance, did we mention any CPU codes that is that needs to be happen? No. But like, if you want to put your database in the EC2 instance, the CPU cores are must. So other than that, you have to put the CPU codes details and everything, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you can see a resource over here in terms of the CPUs. See here.
Okay.
So with respect to that, like, with respect to our requirement, with respect to our need, we have to design such a template. We have to design everything there.
Okay.
Got the point, right? Yeah.
So for whatever the service, the mandate fields will be given, the basic mandate scripting will be there. If it is
Yes.
optional, we need to add on.
Yes. Yes.
Can we check for DB?
Database for what you want?
Whatever the DB instance.
Okay. Let's say MySQL. There is an ops bug, or else wait, I'll click RDS. Yeah. Okay. This is one of the Redshift.
Okay.
So what does it mean? Another point to be noted. If we do not mention the optional values, it will take all as default.
Okay.
See now, while I'm creating a AWS instance, did I change other than the size? Did I change anything here? VPC subnets, if I want a public IP, as in elastic IP or all, did I change anything here? Nothing.
No, not. Yes.
I just gone to the next. So similar thing, if we are doing this in the Terraform, all these things will take automatically. See,
Okay.
the best way of learning a Terraform is like comparing with the GUI and CLI.
Yes.
What I'll say as my personal experience is like, if you want to create a new service that you have not written anytime, let's say example, like, you are about to write a WAF, web application firewall service in AWS. What I personally recommend to say that like, first create a WAF from GUI on your personal account.
Yes.
So that you'll get to know that what are the fields that you have to add, mandatory or optional, how it flows and etc. So once you get a understanding of from your how that was working, then replicate the same thing in the CLI. See, for creating the EC2 instance, you got to know that after creating this, these two fields are mandatory and rest of things are optional.
Okay.
Similarly, the script is also similar that way, right? When you check the script, what it was there?
Only the mandate fields.
Yes, and rest of things are purely depends upon your requirement.
Okay.
So this is the way basically the Terraform works. Anything that you can put it, if you want like a WAF, WAF. See, there are in WAF. See, if you want to create a role group, or many things was there, like, see, role
Okay.
group. See, if you see this one now, you might be thinking, oh, only 2 steps, WAF is
Yeah.
done. Okay, but when you
Yeah.
see in the GUI, there are lots of things was there in WAF, but
Yes.
lots of things are optional.
Yes. Depends on our request.
Exactly. Every time when you click here, you have to check down. All these things are optional.
Okay.
Anything like, if you're writing a regex pattern in WAF, only 2 lines. But
Oh.
you can add all these things as well. I'm just
Okay.
showcasing an example, okay, in the WAF.
Yeah.
This is so I'm just showcasing you, right, how to write a script, how to understand in terms of that, like what are those things are and everything. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a way of, like, providing the documentation. Coming to the overview, in this, like, let's say, like, you do not have a time and you want to take a predefined templates which is available from the AWS. See, take this, guys. What Terraform has done is, like, they have created a predefined template. Actually, if you want, you can use this. Just click here, okay, and copy this one, guys. That's it. Yeah, copy this one. Okay, and the predefined VPC template will be in your machine. Let's say, like, you do not have a time and you want to do some POC, or you want to do something else, like, take this and do it.
So this one is also completely official from Terraform.
Exactly. I'll be showing you what is official, what is not official. I'll be showing in some time. Oh, it's 10:20. Oh my God. Okay, fine. Okay, when you go back, okay, this is in terms of a provider, and you can see, as I said, like, everything. And there is a concept called a registry, guys, that you'll be getting downloaded actually, but I want to show this now.
What is this browse modules? Is there no? Just a brief, yeah.
The same thing of which I showed.
Okay, these modules. Okay, fine.
Yeah. It's like breaked into pieces, chunks.
Yeah.
Okay. So as of now, I feel like, remember, as of now, and there is in the web, there is a option called as Terraform registry. Actually, all these things what you're seeing is registry only. When to know whether this is an official, when to know which is this is not an official, that I'll be saying down the line. Okay.
Okay, fine.
That's what. Okay, and this is the web part in Terraform actually.
Okay.
And coming back to the first commands of Terraform. Okay, and this will be interesting, guys. Okay.
Okay.
So in total, we have like couple of commands, guys. Like, one of the easiest way. That's the again. When you do this, no, I'll be getting into the mind, like, again, when HashiCorp said the point number 1, workflow, not technology. Only 3-4 commands, job done after writing the script.
Okay.
See, okay, in total, we have like 5 commands. One is init, next is validate, next is plan, next is destroy, and next is FMT.
Sorry, okay. Next one is
FMT. I'll be showing you what is that. Okay. First, guys, this is the most important command. If you execute this command only, then all the rest of the commands will work. Okay. What is meaning of init? As in the name itself, it is saying as initialization, but it does a lot of things, guys. Lots of, in the sense, it does 2 most important things. Point to be noted. Point number 1 is it initializes all the files or directories which is having extension of .tf. Okay. Point number 2. Let's say in the script you have provided saying as take the version of AWS. Let's say, like, example. Now I'm asking you a question, Shekhar. You have written a script. If you hit Terraform init, how Terraform knows that whether you're writing a script belongs to AWS or Azure or GCP?
Inside script will be giving a provider.
Exactly. Yes. Inside the provider, If you mention just as provider space AWS, that's it. What happens is like, it will download the latest provider of AWS from the Terraform point of view.
So yeah, that version. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Everyone will be confusing over here. See, when I'm taking an interview, I used to ask my folks like saying that what type of AWS provider that you use. They'll be saying 0.12, 0.13. Okay, 0.12, 0.13 as a version of Terraform, not the AWS.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the latest version of AWS provider is 3.6, I feel. Okay. What happens is like, if you mention under the provider column as, let's say example, AWS is equal to 3.3 or 3.0 or 3.6, then it will download the what are the number you have given. Let's say like you have not given it. Let's say that you have not given it. It will then, if that is the case, it will download automatically the latest version of provider.
Okay. The latest release. Okay.
Exactly. It automatically takes the latest provider. So that was point. Second point is like it downloads or initialize all the directories, all the files which is having .tf. Okay. So that's the two most important things that needs to be having in the init, and you can see on the same thing whatever you can see here. This is the first command that should be running. It is safe to run multiple commands and all these things. Okay.
One more doubt. We can do this on empty directory where there is no files as well.
If you do it, what happens? See, let's say now Terraform install, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm doing init. What happens?
It's initialized, but it is telling there is
nothing
no
is there. Nothing is there, right? There is no files, right? What
so
it will
now do? After doing Terraform init, now if you add any .tf files, it will applicable for those config files, right?
Good point. Good point. My next question actually the same thing, but you asked me previously. I mean, again suddenly only. Let's say like you have added few files, and you have done Terraform init.
Okay.
Down the line, you have added a new file, some with content and with extension of .tf.
Okay.
So point to be noted, whenever if you add a new file with extension .tf, you have to hit the command of Terraform init compulsory. If not, Terraform will not understand that there is a new file exists.
Okay, it is only for new file addition or existing file any modifications?
No, new, if you see, let's say like, there are 3 files. Let's say example, there are 3 files.
Okay.
Now you have hit Terraform init.
Okay.
Done. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And let's say you have added a 4th file.
Okay.
If you added a 4th file, then only you have to hit Terraform init.
Okay.
If not, it's not required. It's not required. If you've done any changes in the existing files, it's not required to hit Terraform init, because all these files are, you have already done it. You have already initialized it actually.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So these 3 points that you have to remember. Point number 1 is automatically downloads the AWS provider if you do not mention it. The second one is it initializes all the directories or the files having the extension of .tf. And the third point is like, if any new files has been added to the do it .tf, Terraform init is compulsory.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and the second one is validate. So when in engineering, like if you write a C program, what is the next thing that you basically you'll be doing it?
We will check what is that? Yes.
What does it do?
It check any syntax errors.
Same here.
Okay.
If you hit Terraform validate, it checks only the syntax. It doesn't care what is the code inside.
Okay, syntax in the sense it includes tab spaces, spelling mistakes.
Yes.
Everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It will not read the code. It will read the syntax.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
Okay. So spelling mistakes also will be given by Terraform validate.
If you do a mistake in a resource, then it will showcase it.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Next, Terraform plan. This is one of the important step, guys. One of the most important. I recommend if everyone are learning the Terraform for the first time, they have to check each and every line in Terraform plan what is about to happen. Okay.
Yes.
So what happens is like in Terraform, what happens? Let's say like you have written a piece of code and you have done initialization, initialization is done and you have validated and you got to know that there is validation is successful. Now, when you hit Terraform plan, what happens? Whatever the script that you have written, whatever the piece of script that you have written, that in Terraform, it displays in detail, like, what it deploys in the console, along with the AMI details and everything. It gives a clear picture in JSON format actually.
Okay.
Got the point? Down
Yes,
the line, you
yeah.
get to know what is in detail about that. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
like what is the main in the high level, what is Terraform plan is? Whatever you written the script that will be deployed in the infrastructure, right? That
Yes.
will be showcasing at the on the screen. What are the things that it is going to deploy it? What are the things mandatory fields that you have put it, and what are the default fields it automatically takes? It showcases each and everything over there when you hit Terraform plan.
Okay. Okay. And one doubt here, while applying these commands, we need to apply with the file names. Like if we're going to validate Terraform validate and then .pf file.
See. No. I'll say you. Down the line, you'll get to know that. Actually.
Okay.
Down the line,
Yeah.
you'll get to know. I got to know
Okay.
that in some articles, maybe they have written their own name and they're appending with this plan and everything, right?
Okay.
That you'll be getting. That is a concept called from a file. That you'll be getting it later on. Okay.
Okay.
Coming to the next, and the most important command is, again, the next important command is apply. It's a pretty straightforward, like, whatever you feel that in the plan state, it is fine and it's executing, then hit Terraform apply.
Okay.
Terraform apply, and it will ask for if you want to proceed, click S, and you don't want that needs to be happen, put it Terraform apply -auto -approve.
Sorry for that. Put -.
See, let's say like, if you're installing any software, let's say like I want to install HTTPD. Okay. Let's say example. Okay. If I click here, what it is asking?
Yes.
I'm clicking yes and enter, right?
Okay.
Similarly, when you hit Terraform apply, it will ask our permission whether to proceed further or not.
Yes.
You have to hit S. Why? You don't want that needs to be pop up, no? You can you can divert that. I mean to say that you can bypass that hitting -auto -approve. I'll let you know down the class. I mean,
okay.
In the session, you'll get to know that each everything what exactly it has. And guys, another one of the dangerous command I could say, I feel if let's say like if you are there in my place, I'll not give access to this one. I mean to say that I'll not give access to any engineer for this command.
Okay.
I'll restrict it. This is the most dangerous command. One command spoils everything.
Okay.
So what the name is saying is, whatever you have deployed in the infrastructure, with this one command, it destroys everything.
Okay.
So this is a dangerous command. In the real world, if you are hitting this command, think 10 times, no problem.
It destroys the successful deployments as well.
It destroys everything.
So I mean to say, now we have completed one deployment, and then we have completed one more deployment with some changes. And now I did Terraform destroy. So it will destroy those two deployments completely.
Let's say like you have two folders. In folder one, you have executed something.
Okay.
And in folder two, you have executed another thing.
Okay.
If you are inside the folder one, if you hit destroy, Terraform destroy, it destroys everything which is there inside the script of folder one.
Okay.
If you go into the folder two and if you destroy it, then it will destroy the content which is there in the folder two.
Even the deployment is successful, it will destroy.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
So in the real world, like, if we are using this command, think 10 times, no problem. Take your time and destroy it.
Okay. Okay.
Because think on the infrastructure, there will be an application, and on application that the
Yes,
security.
yes, yes.
If you destroy this one, application gone, security gone, infrastructure gone, everything is
Yes.
gone.
Yeah.
Right or
Okay.
wrong?
Yes, yes.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
got it.
Okay, yeah. And next is like next is like FMT. And I recommend everyone to use this command, guys. The main intention of this command is, let's say like you have written a code with zigzag. I mean to say the equal tos are not in a proper format. Let's say one equal to in one place, another equal to in another place. And the
Okay.
brackets are also not in perfect in the proper format. I mean, one bracket came edge to the screen, another bracket you are putting in somewhere. If you
Okay.
hit this Terraform FMT, it automatically put it in one place.
Okay.
Got the point? What I'm about to say?
Okay.
If there are
So
any zigzags in equal tos or brackets, automatically it will align in it will be aligning. It will put it in the proper place. That's it.
okay. This one before Terraform validation or after Terraform validation?
You can put whenever you want. I recommend to put before after init. I recommend to put after
Yes.
it,
Yes, yes.
because see, you have written a code, and anyways down the line, I mean at the end of the day, you'll be pushing the code into the GitHub or the version,
Yes.
any of the version controls. If
Yes.
let's say if other engineer has looked into the code, he should feel it's a good way, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Got it.
If the code is in a very zigzag manner, it will not be that much great, right? It'll
Yes,
look
yes.
ugly.
Yes,
If the
yes.
same code is looking by your manager, what he feels.
Yes, even though it is not organized, Terraform validate will not throw error and it will go for apply also. But just
Yes,
for to make it an order, we are using this command, right?
exactly. I recommend everyone should use this command.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's it, done for the day on the day one. And any doubts in day one?
Bro, one more command, Terraform refresh, what it does exactly?
In Terraform refresh is like, okay, I'll put it in the layman concept. Now you have opened a browser here.
Okay.
What if you do this refresh, what happens?
Any additional data will get displayed.
Same thing, nothing
Okay.
else. Nothing else, the same thing, nothing else. See, if you want to know what are the things, like, do this homework today. Do this homework today. If you
What
hit
is
this Terraform -help, you'll be
okay?
seeing all the options.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you'll get to know that each and every option, what is meant for init, validate, plan, apply, destroy, see console, FMT, and few things we are not using it, but still I'm just recommend to just read it actually. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, bro.
Okay.
Okay, bro.
So any doubts so far in today's session?
No, bro. Fine.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay, man. Chalo, then see you tomorrow.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, and see you tomorrow, man. And tomorrow, yeah, that's it. That's it, done for the day. I'll be sharing the recording shortly.
Okay, brother.
Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Are you sure you want to stop the recording to the cloud?